Hi, so hello and welcome to Pompom Ohmm. I'm Helen again, and this is video 6, I believe. It's just going to go up on day 6. So today I'm going to show you a wreath that is going to have a woven middle, and then we're going to be able to sew on our name, or we can still stick on our name. So I'll show you both options. This is just, a wire wreath. It's just a circular wreath that we've squashed down. So I've squashed it quite a bit this time because I want to make sure I've got plenty of room for this name to go on here, and also because it would make it easier to actually weave as well. Okay, so yeah, what we're going to go for today is we're going to go for a fishy, under the sea theme room door plaque today. That's what we're going to be doing. So I've chosen 4 colours of wool. They're all from our blue range. So this is our multi blue. Just depending on where we are within the wool, you will also get you'll get your navy in there, or you'll get your light ones. They are different every time, just because they're all from this multi blue spool. We've also got here our royal blue. We've got 3 of those to go on. We've got our spotty blue. We've got 3 of them to go on, and finally we've got 3 of our navy blue. So I'm actually going to do a pattern on this one. It's not going to be random. I'm probably going to put them on as navy, multi, royal and spotty, and have that repeating right round. I might change the order. I usually do. I've also got our little wooden fish that I've picked up on my travels. Okay, you can use anything. If it's for a kid's room, there are wooden animals. We've got tigers. There's zebras. There's lots really that we've got, but also there are loads that you can pick up. There's a hippo there. A penguin. As I said, we've got lots. If you have a look on the website, or if you have a look around, there's plenty of those that you can find out and about. The only other thing I've got here, which we don't normally have, is our knitting. They're just kids pink and different colours, large knitting with wool that we're going to use to just sew our name onto. Knitting. I'm saying knitting. I mean sewing. Sew our name onto. Okay, so weaving them, that can take a while. So we're just gonna see how we go with that. We're gonna start by placing our upright struts of wool here. Essentially, we're setting up our own knitting loom. Okay, doesn't matter which of your colours of wool that you use at this point to do your uprights, because you're not going to see your uprights at all once you've finished doing your weaving. So if I just tilt the camera down now so that you can see what we're working on. So all you're doing, I've misplaced my little scissors, so let's just find those. Where they're going to be is underneath all this wool. I'm sure they are under that wool, but I can't find them, so I'm just going to get another pair. I'm sure they'll turn up, but for now we'll use these. So the easiest way to do this is just going to be to cut yourself a decent length. Doesn't need to be too long. Piece of your wool. I'm actually using the multi-coloured wool to do these struts with, but you're not going to see it. You really don't need to worry about that. So we are literally just going to tie a knot to the top of this. Where we're tying it is on the inside ring at the top. Double knot as ever, as always. Okay, and then you just go in it's gonna move round a little bit, which might get a bit annoying. I think what I'm going to do actually is just to make it a lot more easy to show you on the camera. I'm just going to heat up the glue gun and just glue it slightly into place, but I wouldn't usually. It's just because it might get a bit frustrating to try and keep it in the same place whilst I'm also trying to do this on the camera. So yeah, so I'm actually going to glue our struts into place. You don't need to. Just make sure that you've tied them tightly so that they don't constantly move round on you. So it's always more important to get the first knot tied really tightly, because it doesn't matter how tight the second one is, it's not gonna change the tension. It's just literally going to it's just going to make sure your first knot doesn't come undone. So there you go, you've got one upright strut. I'm going to put at least 5 in, but it doesn't really matter how many you've got. Obviously the more you've got, the tighter the weave is going to look. The less you've got, it's going to be a looser weave, but it will still work. It doesn't matter how many you put in. We're gonna do the woven middle first, and then we're gonna put all our poms around the edge. And once we've done that, we are gonna stick our figure. I don't expect you to watch them in real time if you're not actually making along with us. But obviously, you know, they're for both. They're for either seeing what we're doing, or these videos are for making along with in real time. So I've got three struts on there now. The next thing I'm going to do is put another 2 in. I'm going to have 5 on this one in particular. Okay, as I said, the weaving, it does take a bit of time, but you get a nice result in the end. And also it's a place then that you can put your name on, sew your name onto, and therefore make the whole thing with poms. You can actually, you can make fish out of pom-poms, more than doable. We're not going to do that for this one, but it's possible. You can turn a pom-pom into a fish, and then that way you would have your entire project would be made of wool and nothing else really. So that could be quite nice as an alternative. If you're looking for something that is completely made with wool. Just putting that last upright strut on now. So just got that last upright strut in place. These do, they do slide around a bit. That's not always a bad thing. It can actually, be quite useful to be able to move them around. I'm actually, like I said, just going to put, just going to put a blob of glue so that they actually stay where I want them to be. I'm literally only doing, I wouldn't normally do this, but it's just on the camera so that they definitely stay where we want them to be. It's just going to make that a bit easier for me, rather than having to constantly readjust them. Obviously, using the glue gun, you're going to get spidery bits all over the show, so you can just pull those off later. So just going to let that cool for a second. I'm also going to turn off the glue gun, because we're not going to need that for quite some time. Okay, all this spidery, it'll all come off, but also doesn't really matter. Trim down the ends. If you haven't glued them into place, don't trim them too much in case you need to retie them at a later date. But we're gonna trap all of those ends in our weaving anyway. So okay, right. So you've now got your struts in place for you to be able to do the weaving. Now that one's not quite where I want it to be, so I'm just gonna put another blob of glue on there. Okay, so yeah, upright struts for weaving with. So next what we need to do is get our wool ready to weave. Now you're not going to want to constantly be putting 4 balls of wool through this weaving thing. So I always find it easy if you drop the ball of wool to the floor. So I found the end, I've dropped the ball to the floor. That's my multi-coloured blue. I'm going to find the end of my spotty, drop that to the floor again. And there's the end of the spotty one. Okay, so now I've got my multi, my spotty. I'm going to find the end of the navy, which is a much coarser wool. This is not a soft wool, the navy, but it is a bit of a contrast. It's nice to have something a bit different. And then obviously we've got our royal blue. This is a brand new ball actually. So let's just find an end to work with there. Yeah, it always pulls out the other end as well, so you push that back in so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, right, so drop that to the floor also. So now we've got our 4 different colours there. So I'm going to pull that off, put it down in a safe place over there, pull myself off quite a decent amount of wool. You don't have to, you can do as much or as little wool as you want at a time, because you can tie it off and start again. I'm also gonna double this over so that we'll be weaving with 8 strands rather than 4. So I'm gonna put the pile elsewhere and just pull off another 4 strands. Obviously the more that you're weaving with, the harder it can be to kind of pull through, but don't worry too much. You get in a mess, we can just tie it off and start again. Well, not start the whole thing again, but just start that section. So I'm going to cut it off there with 8. No, I'm not going to lose my ends. I'm going to put my ends, I've got a hook here on the drawer front. It's actually the handle of the drawer. And I'm just going to hook my wool through so that I can't lose the ends. Yeah, so I'm not going to try and pull them all to the same size. I'm just going to actually snip that so that they are all the same length. Okay, so to start off our weaving now, we are just going to literally, we're not going to start from the very end, because as you can see that's a slope there. So we're going to start here next to our very first strut. So we're going to put our wool on. You'll be deciding afterwards which is your back, which is your front, but you can make this quite neat, so it doesn't matter. Make sure you pull in your ends so that they're in towards your weaving, so that you can actually cover those when you start weaving. 2 knots, make sure it's in exactly the right place. Okay, and that it's not going to suddenly undo itself. Right. So there we go. So we've got our 2 knots on now then. So now all you're going to do is you're going to weave in and out. So above one, behind the other. So where we've started, we're going to count that as above, and then we're going to go behind. Now, we're not going to pull all the wool through every time. We're actually going to go all the way along. So we're going to go under, over, and then under our copper wire there. Can you see? Yeah, and then that's when we're going to just place it down, put our hand on top, and just gently pull through all of your wool. Okay, and let it collect again in a pile. I'm letting my pile be on the floor. So as you can see there, you've pulled it through. Now I would actually say that we're now missing a bit here, so I'm going to pull that back through. And I'm actually going to go to the previous, I'm going to go before that one there. So I'm going to come up here, and then I'm going to go over the copper and through. I'm not going to, there we go, over the copper and through. So we've got to there. So now we are going to go over this blue strut, under, and then carry on. So we're going to go straight over this one, under that one, over this one, and sorry, under this one, over the copper, and then pull through, and you're going to pull all of your wool through there. You know, we don't always do a woven design because they do take that little bit longer, but if you want to have a filled middle, and you don't want to use a paper plate, or you don't want to use a happy birthday badge or whatever, you want to keep it all wool, you can, and this is the way that you can. Okay, so we're gonna, as we keep going, it's going to get tighter and tighter. We're going to start to lose some of these strings, so you know, don't worry too much. So we're going to go over, under, over, under, over and under our metal, and pull through. Yeah, just basically keep going. It is going to move around a little bit. The glue that we've put in place will help, but they will still slide. So just keep readjusting them as you go. So again, over, under, over, under. And always treat the copper at the end as one of your struts, really. So either go over it or under it, depending on where you... There we are. See, as it gets set up, it gets so much easier to weave through. Always using a loop to go through, not the whole end. As we get closer to the end, we'll actually use the end of the wool to loop, but for now. Okay, so this one's a bit of an under the sea themed, but of course you could use whatever colours were going to work for the decor of the bedroom, or the taste of the person whose room it is. Okay. As I said, here's going to be the time-consuming bit. Putting your poms on won't be too time-consuming, and then obviously we've only got 3 embellishments to go on, which is our fishes. So that's not gonna take too much of our time. So, but not a particularly quick make. More of one to do. I was just sat watching telly with a cup of tea. bit of a project, really, this one. Obviously you can order this from us as a make at home kit, and you can tweak the colours of your make at home kits. So if this is not the colours you want, just let us know. Okay, so if you'd like to design your own, but you don't quite know what colours will work, but you know your theme, so say you're doing this for a bedroom that is farm themed, or I don't know, farm themed or rainbow themed, or you know, whatever your theme is, really. You could just send us a general inquiry, just asking us to do one that would be that theme. So you could just send us through a message, just to say, you know, you'd like a door plaque, and you like it to be princess themed or hero themed, or I don't know, whatever you've got going on in the bedroom. And we can pick the appropriate colours and go from there, really. So you don't have to completely design it yourself, but you can let us know know your theme and everything else. I don't know, there's so many themes now that we could have, so we couldn't possibly cover them all, so that is why we are design your own. If we haven't got the theme that you're looking for, then you simply tell us, and we come up with that theme for you. Okay, so I said, keep treating the copper as your final upright strut. Your strut should be sort of disappearing now, you know, and you should be getting this sort of woven effect. Okay, not a particularly quick project. We've already been going for 20 minutes, and as you can see, there's still a lot that needs to be done to this. You know, I did say that this was, I think we're on video 6, going to be day 6 of the week we're open, first opening week actually. And then we're going to go down to having one live making session a week. We also will have, if you've bought a kit from us, or if you're just making really, we will be having like a live making session. That's going to be on Zoom every Monday night. We'll be on there between we'll be on there between 7 and 8. No, we won't. We'll be on there between 7 and 9 actually. We'll just be making anything we've got on order, or something new. We're just going to decide basically on the day what it is needs to be done, and we'll be making alongside you. You can choose to make along with us. It doesn't matter what project you're actually working on, whatever you've started, bring it along. Come join us with a cup of tea and make with us. But it also is for people who want to just ask questions in real time, or anyone who just wants to watch really what we've got going on, what we're going to be making. So that's going to be our live session once a week on Zoom, so that you can join in and interact with us really. Okay, so we're getting there. We are getting there. This does take time, but you know, you wouldn't choose to do a woven one if you wanted a quick make, really. You know. As you get less wool, it kind of gets a bit easier. There we are, right, so let's just make sure we've got the right ends of our wool here. Okay, we've gotten a bit tangled up, that doesn't matter. We're just gonna gently, carefully loosen it all with our fingers. I'm actually going to, now I've got it all straight, I'm actually going to chop it so that it's all single length. That is purely so that I can now use that end to weave with, because now we've got very little wool, it's easier to do. So we're just going to do the same again, but holding on to the end of our wool. So, and inside, outside, kind of inside, outside, pull through. Okay. Make sure you're using that copper as the end. Again, if you're using your ends, find them and keep going through. There we go. Okay, so haven't quite caught all of the annoying bits in my woven thing, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to catch them up when I'm going to be putting my poms here, so you're not going to see those. So let's just keep going with the weaving. I've got obviously all my wool's kind of gone upwards into this arc. I can readjust that slightly, but you know, that's going to be my front there, look. So I can readjust that slightly because it's all kind of collected up quite a bit. Yeah, and then just keep going. This is literally one of them projects where you just takes its time. We're now on to the second half, so we're going to come under that. We're coming underneath the copper there, underneath this strut. Yeah. And just keep going, basically. We are gonna run out of wool soon, so that it's at that point we are going to tie it off, and then reattach a bit more wool, so we can keep going. When we reattach, we'll be going from this end to the middle, because I just find it's neater then to finish off. Okay. So just keep going till you've got to the end of your wool. Obviously you can use your ends to actually weave with now. Just passing it through. Make sure that you are making sure it goes where you want it to be. So if you pull it too tight, it's not gonna go where you want it. So yeah, just pull it round. Yeah. If it's like that and it's just not wanting to go where you want, I mean, I would actually go back over the top of the strut, and it'll keep it in place. Okay. I'm going to go to the other end, do the same on that side, and then get ready to start weaving with more wool again. We're actually, when we've done quite well, we've nearly got to the end. We're not going to need a huge amount more wool to finish this weave with. I mean, you could choose to go the other way. You could put your struts this way and weave that way. I mean, you can choose, to be honest. I'm not going to attempt to get to the other end again, even though I have got quite a bit of wool there. I'm going to tie it off at this point. Okay. I've deliberately tied it onto this strut here. I'm going to, as always, do two knots. Okay. It's not such a problem when the edges aren't too neat, because you are covering this in poms. So don't be too sort of hard on yourself. I'm actually gonna weave this through again, because that is a lot of wool that I don't want to waste. I'm going to get to the other side and then I'm going to tie it again. Yeah, like that. I'm just going to go up around that post and tie it there. Again, I'm not going to worry about the ends, I'm going to be covering it. Okay, so that's our weave, that's what we've got so far. Okay, I've got my wool here that I kept all together. I didn't lose the ends, I've kept it on hook, so I'm just going to pull off a load more wool. You're not going to need much actually, because we've not got much left to do there, so that's all I'm gonna pull off, because I don't want to waste too much. Again, I am going to double it over so that I've got 8 strands rather than 4. Obviously, if you were weaving with 8 colours, you could double it over, but you wouldn't necessarily need to. Okay, so once again, we are not going to lose the ends. We're going to put it through the hook just in case, really, at this point. Okay, so I'm going to tie it on again. I'm going to go above that strut there, just to anchor it into place, really. Actually, no, I did say we would weave from the top to the middle, and that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go here. Yeah, I'm going to go here. I'm going to tie it on there. I mean, when you come to the end of the weaving, you'll understand why we've gone back to the top, and we're going to let all our finish up in the middle, mostly because you can hide any misdemeanors then in that bit. We're going to go up round that strut there. We are literally, we're playing it by ear a little bit to make sure we're covering as much of that copper as we can. You might find your wools getting a bit tangled. It's usually because there's a spiky edge on your wreath shape, and that's what makes it a bit difficult. So again, we're going up and behind. And treat your last one as your copper. Obviously we're not going all the way to the end, because we're not at that stage yet. If we went all the way to the end at this point, it would leave a gap. So again, we're going to go over, under, over, under, and all the way back to the copper. You know, this is video 6. We've tried to make them as varied as we possibly could. So we have done one now we've done this one today, which is weaving. We did one yesterday, which was going around the outside of your frame with wool, really showing off your colours of wool in that way. Okay, so just keep going. We've also done ones which was poms all the way there on the outside. We've done one which was a mirror. We've done a few different ones now, so we're really trying to show you what we can, you know, or the variety of what we can do. Obviously it's not, if you're not seeing what you would like, please let us know. It does get a bit trickier as you get towards the where you finished last time. But a bit of patience, we'll get there. If it gets a bit tangled, just sort of tweeze it through your fingers, get it loosened off again. If you get really lost, just pull it back through and start again, really. Obviously not from the beginning. Be there forever. Okay, our weaving is really coming together now. You're getting towards the end. I mean, the spiky bits of these wreath things do get in the way a little bit. Just, you know, persevere. You will get past that bit. It's getting tight now here in the middle, but just keep going with your over, under, over. I remember I was taught to weave with a paper plate in primary school. I don't think I'll forget that. But we also had a weaver. A weaver came in and made a big tapestry. Is that the right word? I can't remember now. I think it was a woven tapestry, and it was a picture of all the primary schools. That was good actually. It was very good. And I remember I spent quite a few hours actually helping with it. I was someone that was definitely more interested, so they got me doing more of the weaving. Mostly because it was actually kept in our classroom. It was for the whole school, but it was in our classroom. So I just remember being allowed to do more of it. So this is, you know, weaving is something I've quite enjoyed. It's not something I've ever done properly, but you can give it a little go on this project. As I said, gets tight now towards the end. You know, it can get a bit knotty and frustrating, but just persevere there. There we go. Right, so just check, because it's gonna start to look like that. Okay. I'm only going to go across one more time, and then I'm gonna tidy up these sections. So before I go across, I'm just going to go now repeatedly from this first strut. I'm going to go from the first strut out through between the two wreaths. Okay. And then just back and forth for a little bit, because that's just going to give us the extra wool that we need to fill in this little section here. So it's technically cheating, but because we are filling in a shape that's a bit of a random shape, we can do that really. Okay, so as I said, we've cheated there, done a couple of extra weave on that side. So we've now filled in that section there. So now we're gonna come back across for the final time to the other side. I actually think I might possibly run out of wool, which is a bit unfortunate, but we'll see. Right, so now I've got to the other side. So yeah, that's how neat we're looking there. We've got a bit of a gap here, so we're just gonna tweak it. Okay, less of a gap now. Not incredibly neat job, but you know, at least it is hand woven. So yeah, there we go. We just tease it so that you get no gaps really. And we're going to do the same here. We're just going to keep going through this section so that we don't have too many gaps. We can always come back and you know, we are still weaving. We're not just going round and round. So I still weave it through, under, over, still. Okay. And now we've got a gap there, so let's go under that, under there, and then over that second one. Let's find that second strap, and we're filling in the gaps. Look, okay. I think we'll get away with just one more actually, and then we'll tie it off on the end. Okay. So yeah, let's bring that back round, and we're just gonna tie it around that strap there. Okay. Right, as you can see, not the neatest. I would be looking at this point, you know, which side do you like? Which side's looking the best, do you think? And yeah. Don't worry too much about these bits on the edge. We're gonna hide all of those now when we put on our poms. So we've got two options for a side. We've got that side, or we've got the other. Well, you know, they're different colours really, more than anything. They're the same kind of neatness. Yeah. All right, so that's the end of the weaving section. Now we're gonna put our pom-poms now going round the outside. I've got 12 poms, so I'm gonna aim for 6 on one half, 6 on the other, which is basically 3 in a quarter. So that's easy to remember. But we have got 4 different colours, so we're gonna make sure we put them on, you know, one at a time. So do decide which is your front, which is your back. I can't decide, as you can tell. I'm going with, I'm going to go with that as my front. Am I? No, I'm going with this as my, yeah, okay. Let's just see what we end up with here. So yeah, so not as easy as usual. Normally there's not all this wool in place. So it's 12 round large. So we're just going to we're going to go this loop on the outside. The other one, you're going to need to find your copper there, look. So you're finding your copper, and you're gonna loop your wool under that copper. Okay, and then you're going to loop it again, get it so that you're anchoring it into place. Just put a loop around that. Pull it tight, pull it tight on this side. Loop that round so that you've anchored it both sides. Just make sure make sure it's in the right place. So give it 2 knots. Obviously, it'll only be as tight as your first one. So make sure you are holding it in place until the second knot goes on. Keep those lengths there. You'll need them. So we said we're going to go for light blue, royal, multi, navy, and we're going to follow around in that pattern. Okay, so your navy one's going on here. Again, find your copper, through all of that weaving. Do two turns round it, just anchor it into place, and again on the other side as well. You know, you don't want them too tight together. We are only going to have 6 going around, so there you are, two knots. Get that multi one on there, look. Again, find the copper in all of your weaving. Again, anchor it around there. Two knots. Navy going on now. Hopefully, like, we've sped up a little bit now that we're just tying on the poms. Next step is going to be to stick on your fishies, and then it's going to be your name, really. The name's the next, after your fish have gone on and everything. I would suggest you could do your name before you put your fish on. Just make sure you've got your pattern now, because we are starting to repeat. So I'm going on now with that spotty blue. Yeah, you could put your name on first, and then put your embellishments around it. I'm going to put the embellishments on first and then do the name around that. So there we go. You can have a look at how you're getting on, so you can see what effect we've got here now. We've got our woven middle and our poms going on. So this is quite a nice one for like showing off your wools. Also for making one that is completely woolen. No like plates or anything stuck in the middle. So if you're, dedicated wool fan, this is one you can really get your teeth stuck into. If these colours are not what you're looking for, this is very much an under the sea theme. Let us know. You design your own. So let us know what colours you would prefer. If you don't know what colours you want, but you've got a theme for your bedroom, let us know, and we can go from there. As you can tell, I talk an awful lot. Most of it's nervous chatter, but I also do like to witter, so apologies for that. Unless you're following this through copying along, making with us, then you really don't need to watch it end to end. But because I don't trim these videos particularly, I just do them in real time so that you can, if you wanted to make along with us, you totally can make along with us. Okay, so that's going there. We've got another 4 to go on here, so we've done all right with the spacing so far. Yeah, that's going on there. You are now hiding any misdemeanors in there, really. Okay. So we've got our light on. We're going to put our royal back on. Okay, we've just got 2 more to go on there. We've got our multi and we've got our navy. So obviously we have got pattern on this one. You could do it randomly, but yeah, we've got a pattern. You could also do this woven middle. You can do it on a circle. It is possible, especially if you glue your struts into place before you start. You could also, so you could do this on a circle. You also could do it with 24 poms going round as well, if you prefer the idea of two rows going round the woven middle. Fine, not a problem. You can do it with 24 poms going round. And obviously if you're doing 2 rows you can make it a bit more random. Okay. So right, we've got all our poms on there now, so you can see where this is a much longer design, so you can get your name in there properly, basically. Okay, so now we're going to make sure that we get all of our ends. Let's just put that through there. Okay, going to make sure we get all our ends, at the back now. Now that we've got a definite back and front, so we don't just cut them straight off, just in case you wanted to reposition them or whatever. We tie them one next to the other, one next to the partner. Now this has taken the best part now already of, I told you these would turn up, they were under the wool. So that's already taken the best part of an hour, really. You've only got your fish to go on now and your hanging loop. I'm just going to turn on the glue gun so that we're not waiting for it again like we have for the last five videos, because I always forget to turn it on. So yeah, so there's the okay. And we'll just carry on tying these now. Right, just working our way round, tying off the loose ends. So yeah, you will see that some of these poms are a bit loose. They're not quite in the place that we want them to be yet. Just make sure any loose ends are finding their way out to the sides. Okay, so that's just yeah. So what we can do now, this takes a bit more time, I'm afraid, but what we can do now is tie those tightly into place. So you've got your all. First of all, before we tie them tightly into place, we're actually going to put a hook on this, just so we don't split up the wool before we put the hook on. I like to make sure it's 8 round, 8 thick. So there we go. So I'm just looping it over. Yeah, no, I'm not chopping that actually. I'm just going to loop that over. Right, okay, and then just chop it at the other end. Obviously, keep your ends together, but you are about to split up your balls of wool. So we've got our hanging loop there. Okay, the computer's just started to shout at me that it's going to run out of power, so let's get that plugged in. Okay, so with that plugged in, there we go, carry on. Right, yes, so we've got our loop there and all our scraggly ends together at the bottom. We're going to decide where the top is going to be. I think it's going to be directly between these two poms. So we're gonna find the copper. Okay, we're gonna tie ourselves a knot. As always, nice loop to the top, scraggly ends towards the centre, and pull nice and tight, and then just another knot, and make sure once again scraggly ends to the centre, nice wool to the nice loop to the top. Now you've got your scraggly ends here, we have got a loop there, so we're just gonna, oh, we've left one out, so let's just tie that separately onto there, because we can't leave that out, can we? That royal blue needs to be there. Okay, so we're just going to get a short piece of wool that we can chop off, any colour, doesn't matter which, as long as it's a blue, doesn't matter. Just going to thread it through all of those loops at the end there, and then we're just going to find the copper in the middle, on the middle ring, and we're just going to tie it off to that. Just means that all your ends are quite neatly hidden down there. Okay, we can chop that one off after we've done 2 knots. Right, so now we've got our hanging loop. Okay, so yeah, all we want to do now is we want to make sure these poms aren't going everywhere anywhere. So we're going to split up our blue wool now. So this is, I've got the navy. I'm only going to put navy around the navy poms. You might have seen us do this before, you might not. Depends on whether you've watched any, but also whether or not we were tying them into place or whether we were just gluing them into place. So obviously we've got the weaving in the middle, doesn't matter, just push it straight through, push your ends straight through the weaving. Okay, out the other side. The side that's woven, don't worry about hooking it in. The side that's unwoven, just go outside the metal, inside the metal and out again. So you've got a hook, you've got a loop. Then you're going to pull up as tightly as you can. Have a look, double check you can't see your wool, and then you're just gonna do your 2 knots again. So all you've done basically is pull your pom in, and now it's sitting exactly where you want it to sit. Don't cut your ends off yet, you're going to do that at the end. So just keep going with your navy. Okay, so same again, come around the front, put it through the weave, anywhere through the weave really. Don't worry about anchoring that side, but anchor through the copper on the outside. Pull it tight again, have a look, double check you can't see the wool, and then tie it off. I did say this would be a long project, so we've been going now for an hour. We are getting there. Don't chop that off yet, actually. We are getting there, but still a little bit of work to do on this. We've got the last one of our navy here. So same again, round the front, anywhere through the weave. Make sure it's into the place that you want it to be. Go round the copper, make sure you've got it tied tight. Again, pull it, have a look. I've managed to trap a load of extras, so pull those off. Okay, pull it into place, and then 2 knots to tie it, anchor it really into place. Sometimes you pull too hard, you can snap your wool, but don't worry too much if that happens. Okay. I've still got 1 strand that I can tie there. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next pieces at once. Again, anywhere through your weaving. And pull it tight again. Check you're not catching anything, but if you're pulling it tight, you really shouldn't be. All you should be doing is pulling them in so that they sit really nicely where you want them to be. Keep going with your spotty ones now. We've got 4 colours on here, so we're gonna do the correct colour for each pom. Just makes it look a bit nicer. Otherwise, you could end up with you showing where you've tied it off, and you don't want that really. Okay, and then again through your weaving. Again, I know I'm going to need 3, so I'm just going to cut 3 off in one go. This is the 3rd of our colours, so we've only got 1 to go after this. It takes a bit of time, but it really does make it a lot neater. You don't have to do this step. You could of course choose to use your glue gun at this point and just glue them tighter into place. You can glue them direct to the copper, or you can glue them to your weave, whichever really. Okay, and then two more of our royal blues. You should be getting quite a nice shape now around your centre. Okay, the last blue, it's really come out of place, but it doesn't matter. You just push it back into place, and then get your wool. And now you've definitely got all of them in the right places. So I'm just going to do our last colour, which is our multi. This one needs a lot of pressing into place, but that's normal. That's how you know you've got enough on your wreath, because you actually have to push them into place. And you could be going across a lot lighter wool, so I would just make sure, I'll show you in a minute, but make sure you are really pulling them tight so that they can't be seen through the wool. Okay, again, go through the weaving. Okay, pull tight. I would really check you're not seeing that now, because you've not got quite the same colour as as the wool that it's going through. So really tight, get them into place. Okay, and again, this is the 2nd of our multicolours. Anchor it on the outside. Pull really tight. Check you can't see it, fluff it up if you need to. Okay, very last one now. Slightly out of place, just pull it in. Really not a problem, just pull it in. Okay. So yeah, fast one, just make sure you cannot see that wool. Pull it real tightly. And there we go. Right. So we've got all our poms where we want them to be. We've got our weaving in the middle. We can't see any loose ends or anything like that. Okay, we've got all our loose ends at the back still. We're just going to quickly do what we always do. We're going to go back round, just tie them next to their partner. Okay, just means you've got enough wool if you need to ever take them off or whatever. Okay, so let's keep going with that very quickly. Then we're going to get these fish on, and I'm going to show you how to get a name on there in wool, but that is going to take a while. We can also do that if you're you know, if you're running out of time and you're following us along, you can do that with wooden letters if you prefer. You could just stick those on, you see. So you know, we do these makes in real time. So if you were really doing this at home, it shouldn't take you much longer than an hour and a half. But of course, you can very much go at your own pace if you want to do it slower, quicker, whatever. And obviously, all these projects we've been doing, we've been starting with ready-made poms. We make poms ourselves. They're all handmade by us, but you can order your kit with or without them. So if you want to make poms yourself, no problem. Just order the kit with a pom maker in. But you'd be adding a good hour to the project if you were making your own poms from scratch. Right, so that's what we've got basically. Okay, we're gonna stick our fish on now, and then we're gonna put our name on. I've decided got two different types of fish, very similar, but there are two different. So I'm going to do the two that are the same opposite. And I'm just going to put this little guy down here. Okay, bit of glue on the back of these fishies. Okay, where you think that they're going to make the most contact, push them straight down onto the wall. Okay. If you're using mini glue guns like me, you're going to run out of glue. So just get the stick. You're going to go through quite a bit of glue. I mean, this isn't a very heavy glue project, but you're still going to go through a bit. Put this final fish on here. Now, this bit's the quick bit tonight. Okay, we can switch our glue gun off at this point, unless you just want to very quickly stick a name in there. That's doable. But I am gonna, for this project, I am gonna show you it being sewn in, which will take some time. And I'm gonna use deliberately a completely different colour, so that it shows up the best. Now, I haven't used white on this project, so I am at this point going to use some white, and just find the end of it. I'm hoping that white will show up the best on here. Yeah. Right now, I'm gonna double it over, but let's put our needle on here first. So it's just one of these big, big kid wooden wool needles. Okay, so you can just poke the end through there. Look. Okay, I'm gonna double it over because you really do want to be able to actually see this name. So the name I'm going to go for is just, I'm not sure actually. I think I'm just going to leave a gap actually for a name and just put room. I'm just going to, yeah. So I'm not going to sew with a huge amount of wool. Okay, keep your end where you can get back to it. So you're literally just gonna go through. Do you know what? I'm gonna write bathroom on this one. So obviously I've caught it already. Look, through from the underside, and then don't need to necessarily tie it off. The more times you go through, you're gonna cover your stitch basically. Okay, and now you find you're just actually sewing. I always use a back stitch just cause. Find it easier to see where I'm going. Again, do more than one stitch so that you can really see that white against that blue. Okay. Yeah, you're going to want to make sure you are going over quite a few strands of wool, because otherwise your stitch will she'll just disappear inside them. So yeah, make sure you are going over a few different strands of wool. Yeah, if sewing isn't your thing and you are doing this as a make at home, then by all means use the letters, use the ready done letters. This is very much for if you are going for a full wool effect. Wreath here, you know, sometimes it's just, yeah, it's nice to be able to get it completely woolen with no extra bits, but obviously we've got the fish on here anyway. I did say, you know, you could do it with woolen fish, that's more than possible. You can use pom-poms to make fish, no problem. We can always, if anyone's interested in that, let us know. I can always show you how to make fish out of a pom-pom. You can make most animals out of a pom-pom. Depends on how creative you want to get going with this. So this is a long video. We've already been going for an hour and 15 minutes. We are nearly there. It's just sewing our name on now. We've got as far as the letter B. And we were going for bathroom. Maybe we'll go for bath, because that's just going to be, it's going to be quicker for this video. I mean, you don't necessarily need to see me do all of this sign really. Again, make sure you are going over several bits of wool, because you don't want your stitch to just disappear through your weaving. Okay, so as you can see there, we've got a letter B. Okay, I've run out of wool, so I'm just going to snip off my needle there. I'm actually going to tie it to the starting end really here. Just makes it neater more than anything. I'd leave yourself a bit more wool than that actually. That was a bit yeah, that was a bit tight, but you can get away with it. Okay, so yeah, so we've got B ready for bathroom we're going for here. So a little A, TH, room. Okay, that's what we're going for. I'm not actually going to finish my stitching here. It is going to say bathroom, but I can finish that off and I can put that video, I can put that photograph on so you can see it finished. I'm actually going to stop there for this. Yeah, I'm going to stop there for this. I'm going to put this up on the hook now so that you can see it finished. You're going to have to just imagine the rest of that writing there. But as I said, I will put a photo up. So if you give me a minute, we're going to do some more dodgy camera work just to get this up on the hook. Okay. There we are. I'll go and put it on the hook, and then I'll bring the camera across. Camera now. Just have to a minute. here we go. So this is our door sign. So we've got we're now working in the dark, so you can't, the colours will be slightly different in the light, but there's our three fishes, our blue theme, and the start of our writing, our sewn on bathroom sign. As I said, I will finish that and show you a picture. Okay, so that is basically, you can just see it there just on the back of the door. That's basically the end of our fish themed door sign. Go wild with the themes on this one. Just let us know. You know, farms or unicorns or anything. We can do any theme. Just let us know. So that is the end of video 6 that we're showing you on day 6 of us being open. We'll be here one more. We've got day 7 tomorrow, so I don't know what we're making yet, but who knows. So join us again if you'd like. I hope you've enjoyed us. Let us know if you have, or if you've got any ideas of what you'd like to see. And we'll see you again soon. Okay, thank you very much. Bye now.